All right. Hello, friends. So I am simultaneously sharing live on Zoom. So if you see me glance back and forth, we're talking with some awesome beauty consultant, Sherry Maxardi, with us. And then I'm saving this because with the new Facebook algorithm, things don't save as long. And I wanted you to have this available to you anytime you needed a pep talk before an event. So, Sherry, I hope this inspires you in that very same way that you feel like you can refresh back to this when you need a pep talk. And first, I want you to know that you are normal if the invitation doesn't always come natural. I sometimes myself have to pep talk myself before I reach out and get excited. So, a couple things we've talked about in the past is making sure that you have an offer, not an ask, right? When you're offering to share something, want some gum rather than may I have some gum? Very different feelings, right? Like if you want to tap the person next to you, may I have one of your mints? Like it's a little like you gotta, get your courage if you don't know them that well. But if you want to offer the person next to you a mint, whole different mindset, right? So that's part of what we're going to be doing is really always focusing on what are we offering because it's so much easier to make an offer than an ask. Of course, our offers are going to be based on what we need in our business and our ask for ourselves. So keep that in mind as well. And then we're going to remember our manners. Like, there's no substitute for good manners and respect for other people when you're reaching out. And one of the things about that is so important is making sure we're reaching out when people are available. Because I could have the most exciting news to tell you, but if the dog's barking in the background and the neighbor's mowing and the doorbell's ringing and you've got to pack and you've been up doing projects all night, it doesn't matter what I offer you, right? If you are tapped out, you are tapped out. And it is the same for the people we serve. So really important to open those conversations with making sure now is a good time. Which it surprised you to know that when I'm coaching my parties, I always thank the guests of my hostesses by saying, thank you so much for taking a call from a number I know you didn't recognize. Because people always have that like apprehension, right? When they pick it up, we're just accustomed to it now. We got spoiled. In the old days, we had the rotary that rang and it was always dicey. You never knew who was the other end, right? But now we're so used to knowing who's calling and then we make assumptions about that whenever we're picking up a call we don't recognize, depending on what else is going on in our life, we run through the list of what it could be. So I always open with our connection and a thank you. So we're going to talk a little bit about those good manners and how to get it done and how those things translate to both virtual and in person. So today is all about the offer, which really equates to the ask or the invitation. Okay. And then for my girls who are with me on Zoom, I'm going to go over some dates. So at the end, we'll talk about how you can apply your actual newfound knowledge. Okay. So, but that will not be part of this video. So you'll see me say goodbye. And then if you need the dates, you're going to have to pop on over to our Facebook group where I will share everything after that. Okay. So, all right. So let's talk about all the occasions for connection, right? So that we know that what we're going to share applies to everything. So right now is a great example. We have a $20 beauty consultant, eStart, and we only have like 48 hours left. But do you believe in this opportunity, even at full price, if it goes back to $35 on May 1st, or if you're checking out this video after July 1st, well, maybe we've launched a new Mary Kay program. Do you believe in this opportunity enough and trust the company to price the opportunity appropriate at any given time, right? So we have the invitation to hear information about the business, to consider our business. We have the invitation to try products. We have the invitation to girl time. We have the invitation to hostess. We have the invitation for facials. We have the invitation for open houses, Mother's Day events. And some of you already have this skill in your regular life and don't even know it. Or you know it, but you didn't think about transferring that skill into this world. And I know some of you guys have like really professional jobs. You have a lot of responsibility on your shoulder and you are the connectors in your regular world. You get people to show up and volunteer. You get people to or come early, stay late. You get people to bring people, like all of the things, whether it's fundraising or esprit de corps building or helping market a business or helping secure a community. Like you guys are used to connecting. This is that same skill set in many ways. But we have to know that Mary Kay is the fun stuff, right? We are on the want to list, not the have to list. So, if you have to take the 6-hour driving course because your insurance renews next month, you're much more likely to say yes when your insurance agent calls to offer you that course with a short timeline, right? Because there's something in it for you. And it's kind of more of a have to, right? You want that discount and you know that you have something in it for you. So what about Mary Kay? Can there be something in it for you that would make you say yes? And I want you to ask yourself these questions also when it comes to connecting with our unit. When it comes to all the things I invite you to, the offer and the ask, right? Would you like to come play? Would you like to do this? Do you want to do that? Do you want to learn? Do you want to, what's in it for me? Oh, I covet your support and your connection so much for two reasons. I love to see you build your business strong, because when you build your business strong, it builds our unit strong. So it's a win, win, and win, right? It's a win independently for you. It's a win independently for me, right? Like to see you strong, to know I have a strong unit. It's like a mom who knows her kid's going to go off to college and be safe and successful, or you're going to just, launch somebody that you care about and watch them know they're going to be okay on their own 2 feet, whether you've taken a friend into a new environment and then she's going to show up for pottery class without you next week. It's all of those kinds of things. But then corporately, we're stronger, because when we're stronger corporately, we have more to share with each other and more to support. So, okay, that's what's in it for me, but what's in it for you? What if you bring a guest and she shops? What if you bring a guest and she identifies with someone else in the room and decides to join your team? What if you bring a girlfriend who you knew didn't really have the budget, but also doesn't have the budget to pamper herself outside of Mary Kay? And this is the highlight of her week. Could you feel like you've blessed someone and this was a win in that way as well? So I want you to feel so confident that when you're inviting people for connection, you're offering something of great value. So try not to prejudge. Often when I'm working with the hostess and she says, so-and-so can't, I don't know if she can afford. Well, no, that's lovely. But that's exactly why she needs to be with us, because she's not treating herself in any other way. And she's going to remember your kindness down the road. And when we're in a season, y'all, sometimes the kindness of connection is really the thing that fortifies us through to the next season where we can be the offerer instead of the receiver. So let's talk about virtually first, because we have so many beautiful beauty consultants who are working in the virtual world now too. And even if you're like me, I call myself a kitchen table consultant. I love the connection of face to face. It's kind of my jam. It's where my joy is. But maybe you have a busy schedule, or you have someone you just really want to serve who's not local to you. So you need to have at least a cursory virtual skill set. Would you agree? A little bit of a virtual skill set is an asset, even in the most face-to-face business. Even just the simple thing of a little Zoom etiquette, a little camera etiquette. And we'll do another little video on that, because it really, 5 minutes can make a big difference. Just knowing a few things. But like, for instance, today, my cameras are all at eye level. And that can be like, it's the difference between looking at someone's ceiling fan when it's on in the summer, right? Or looking up someone's nose if the camera's low, right? So those kinds of things help you feel confident, but also help the people you're connecting with. Look at let's share. You're so cute. I see you adjusting your camera. Look at you. You're such a fast student. Oh, I'm so happy. So a couple of things like that, little virtual skills. So virtual is not your jam and you need a little confidence there, then we should also connect on that level. You and I connect on the screen so we can actually kind of evaluate. I love when our beautiful Catherine is on with us, because she has such a background in production, and she will always catch like when my shoulders are rolled forward, or like if my angle is bad. And so like, just being face to face with a girlfriend you trust, whether it's me or someone else, and sort of help you like, hey, maybe there's a shadow. Like I remember one time it looked like I had like a cone head because of the way the light was placed. And I didn't really even notice it because I was so excited to talk to the girls. But someone on the screen said, hey, just adjust your light to like 10 degrees of angle and all changed. So we want to get comfortable in the virtual world so we can offer it. So why do I layer that into how to ask? Because if you're not comfortable with the camera or with the group, you've got to own that, because that will be your obstacle to applying what I'm going to teach you next. Okay, so if there's something about that that's uncomfortable to you, let's own it and make a point to work through it so that you can apply these skills. Also, I just want you to know, when I was forced into the virtual communication world, I kind of came kicking and screaming, but we were all, let's just say we were not connecting face to face then. So a lot of us were really like either lonely, or we were going to be out of business. There were people who needed service because they were lonely too. So we had to learn, right? And one of the things that helped me is one of my girlfriends said, just pretend you're talking to a girlfriend when you're talking to the camera. And that was so helpful. And also she was listening when I didn't know. So think about that. Is your bestie in your group? Will she affirm you? Will she give you a heart or a like or a thumbs up when you most need it? If you need an advocate, like ask your sponsor, ask me, ask your bestie, hey, I'm going live. I could use a little positive feedback to get me off the ground. And then would it surprise you to know I've deleted a few things after I've done them? right? If you're not like jazzed about it, like it can go away. Okay. So what do we do first? Well, we need a group, right? We need a group. So you know how to create a group in your Facebook world. But let's just pretend Facebook doesn't exist sometimes, because they say, there's a saying, if you don't pay for the product, you are the product. So, Facebook, unless you're verified and all of those things, we have no guarantee of Facebook. So even if we connect in those groups so genuinely, we need to get the outside off that virtual platform. We need to get their emails, their phone numbers, all of the things, so we can continue to connect in the real world. Because I want you to think that this will also apply to a Zoom. So if Facebook went away, if we didn't have the luxury of a group, what else could we do? Well, we could still invite to a Zoom, or there's a Meetup. Google's got Meetup. There's a half a dozen different platforms for it. So maybe in your circle, something that would be better than Zoom for some people, but it just really depends for you. Who you're serving, if they want that face-to-face Zoom experience, or they want the viewership experience, more like a Facebook group or a live. So that's the difference, right? We have the live, where they're viewing, or we have the actual connection where there's a little boxes on the screen. So that's another, you've got to kind of consider your audience, is where I'm going with that. And then what are you inviting to? So the words I use are sometimes show and tell style, QVC style, if I'm doing a little group live, where it's kind of a posting party. You post, and then you kind of close it out with a big presentation. You wait a couple of days. And if you need to see how that works, let's book something. Let's get your group active. Let's invite some people and get it going. And then we'll talk about the big thing today, how to get them invited, right? Or the same thing, we can have a Zoom where we can get all together, QVC style, show and tell. Or we can do a demo. What's the difference? That means you've taken the time to mail things to people in advance. Okay. So, and that's really just the difference, is they're actually doing it along with you, or they have a packet, maybe they view later on a replay with their packet, then you follow up. You can do that. You can make a video of yourself washing your face and send it to people, and then just send them the samples if they're out of, so that is another thing. And then you have two ways to do that. You can play your video and screen share, right? Or you can do it live with them, or you can send them the video and then follow up. So there's all these different ways. So you've got to be clear about what you're offering. Then you've got to reach out in a way that is their way to communicate. So that's the first thing. That is the first step. When we're establishing a relationship with someone, whether it's an in-person or virtual, we need to communicate with them in the way they will communicate with us. So, my preferred way to communicate with you once we've established a relationship is by text, right? Or talk. Or face-to-face, right? I don't prefer like all of the different apps and chats, but maybe we chat on Instagram, maybe we chat on Messenger, we email, we do those things. But once the relationship is established, you have more influence over the communication. But initially, you have to be in the place they will receive you, right? And that will start with an invitation that simply is like a tickler of an invitation. So in the old days, we gave you all the info and we let you make the decision, right? And if you've been around in communication for a long time, that was really that was the way to do things. But now people don't have the attention span. If you send them a paragraph about what we're doing, they haven't even read it. So they don't even know that they were available the day you are going to invite them to something. So it's important to just start with, in the messages, like let's suppose I was on Messenger or texting, I might say something like, "Hi, Sherry, our mutual friend Catherine reached out to introduce you to me. Did she mention that I would be contacting you?" Just a simple yes or no. She says yes, then great. Did she tell you what it would be about? Then you, right? Okay. Or if she says no, then you immediately go into thank you mode, because now she's chosen to engage with you and has no idea why you're reaching out, right? Oh my gosh, well, thanks for chatting with me when you had no idea I was going to be reaching out to you, right? I'm reaching out because, and then it's simple. We have a special event on Tuesday I thought would interest you. Would you like more information, right? Yes or no. That's it. If she says yes, great, you continue. If she says no, say, okay, well, thank you. And then just continue with another question. Ask her a little about Mary Kay. Ask her, about her complexion. Ask her whatever it is, the common ground that's connected you. And then find a next step of connection. Okay, so that's the virtual connection. Now, the same thing takes place. I found so often when I'm calling referrals or calling hostesses, or guests for something, unless my hostess has told them to expect my call, they're not going to be taking that call. So that's your first step. If you're calling a referral or a guest for a party or a mutual friend, anything like that, if you can get your connection to open the door a little crack for you, you're going to be much more likely to get a more favorable response. So, we talk about the bubble sheets where we call and we call and we call and we fill in all the bubbles and how many calls does it take. You'll find if the door's been open a crack, you'll get more results with less effort. Okay. So one of the things I've started doing is taking a picture with the person I'm I just had a picture with my hostess for Friday. Like, she was here at a guest event. She booked from the guest event to have her own party. Now I need to call her people. If they're not going to call me back, like, I may make those calls without sending that photo originally, especially if she's done her job. But if I'm having trouble, I can literally send the picture of me with their person together. Right now, oh, she is a friend of my person, right? She knows my person. So that's a really helpful thing. It's kind of and that's a really good thing to do too. On Facebook, if you've been with the person and you can even if you can put your pictures, for the virtual party, if you can drop a little silhouette of both of you into the party invitation, right now you're both on the same frame. So the proximity connects you. So super helpful. So then you're going to be clear about what your offer is, what your ask is. Remember your offer. Would you like a piece of gum? Can I have a piece of gum? So you want her to come to whatever you're doing, right? But she needs to know what's in it for her. So you're going to be real clear and real brief. So let's just use our glass skin as an example. We typically do those on Saturdays. I'm so excited because we have opportunity for a new location towards the end of the month. I'll tell you all about that a little bit too. So I would say we have a special event coming up on Saturday, and it's designed to perfect your complexion. Would you like more information? Yes or no? I'm not free on Saturday. Next step. Great. Do you have anything about your complexion you would like to influence? Now you have permission to continue. She's going to tell you. So you can invite her the following Saturday. You can invite her Thursday. You can offer her to be a hostess, right? So what do you want? The ask is, may I be in relationship with you? May I be your beauty consultant? May I show you some product that you might choose to purchase? That's your ask, right? But your offer is, may I pamper you for completely free and give you a little fun and girl time, right? So we've really been taught Mary Kay to sell the sizzle. So does it matter what skincare system we're using that day? It matters if she's unhappy with the one she has. It doesn't matter any other way, right? Because it's the steps. It's the cleanse, the double cleanse, the exfoliate, the hydrate, just the perfection of it all. It's the education, the girl time. And if you make it too much about the product too soon, she's not coming, right? Because she doesn't want to shop. She may need skincare, but she doesn't know she needs skincare. She doesn't know her face can feel better than what she's currently using. If she's using something that gets her face clean and that's her goal, she doesn't know she could also be anti-aging while she's washing her face, right? So we have to remember that the invitation has got to be brief enough to, like a tickler, if you've ever been invited to a trunk show, that's such a little luxury, right? Back in the retail world, when somebody would come in and you get to see everything ahead of time, oh, how fun is that, right? What little luxury. But they don't show you the whole line. They don't tell you, the designer has 17 shirts and 14 blouses and, 3 of them have short sleeves. They say, oh my gosh, the new line is on trend for the season. You get to see it first. You get to touch the fabric, feel it, try it on. And there's going to be famosas, make fake mimosas, famosas, right? So, and then you're excited, right? You want to go see what you don't know, right? Think about it. You want to go see what you don't know. It's that little bit of FOMO, a little bit of interest. So I like to let them know what to expect. So once you've got them committed, then you need to have a next layer. So let's say, yes, I'd love to come on Saturday. My next thing may be, Sherry, I know that Monica's not going to be with us on Saturday because she's done this twice before, but she really thought you would love it. It's why she thought to connect us. But I know you and I have not met yet. Would you be more comfortable traveling with your daughter-in-law or one of your girlfriends? Right? What do I want? I want to meet as many people as I can on Saturday morning, right? What else do I want? I want Sherry to have a good time. Will she have a better time with the people she cares about? Of course she will. I also want her to feel more likely to come. And if her friend commits, guess what? She can't back out on her friend, right? So you see, it's a win-win. What's in it for her? So if I said, oh my gosh, if you brought 3 friends, I'll give you some free products. She doesn't even know she wants free products. She doesn't even know she likes the products. She certainly doesn't want to shop out of obligation. But she might like to have a girlfriend come for a cup of coffee and a muffin with me on Saturday morning and just play with some skincare, right? So it's how you offer it. So, and then to confirm, okay, Sherry, we're going to have some coffee on Saturday morning. We would like to have some muffins for you. Do you have any food allergies I should know about? Do you have and while we're talking, Ask her about her skin real quick, right? Now, on Saturday morning, Friday night, I'm so excited you're coming. I'm sending her a text reminder. Okay, so layers, right? Saturday morning, I'm texting her about an hour before, and you can schedule all this in your phone. And you know what I'm going to say? Oh my gosh, Sherry, I'm so excited. You and your bestie are coming. Do you know, does she drink coffee or tea? She'll tell me, how about you? Now I know they're coming, right? And now she feels, again, so she's got a few butterflies. She's now welcome again, right? So there's the same kind of thing. So when someone's invited to a group, you can't just click the group invitation and send it out. Like, then nothing else, right? Like, you guys get them. I get them all the time. I'm invited to probably 5 or 6 groups a week. Like, for all, like, you know, all different kinds of things. Somebody's athleticism, someone else is making recipes. Some of it even interests me, but I need to know, why are you inviting me? And, you know, the algorithms will block you out sometimes. So it's important to stagger your invites, change them up a little bit. But also, rather than just click share and like run down the list, well, that's efficient in the inviting part. It's not efficient in the getting them in the group part, right? It was too rote. It wasn't personal. So the invitation can come from the hostess, right? Oh my gosh, Sherry, my beauty consultant, Diane, is doing a customized class for us on Saturday, and we're starting a group to generate some questions and stuff beforehand. May I invite you? Give your hostess the language to invite her friends. If her friends haven't accepted, your next layer can be, tell me who we're inviting. And you can go in too, but you have to have the hostess in the group as well, because you're not friends with her, so she won't see it. Otherwise, it goes to the other folder. Most people don't check that. So you can also encourage her to send actual text invitations. Send an email with that group embedded in it, because some people don't even check all those notifications, right? What if they run a lot of different things going on, so the notifications are important to them. So you have to consider, again, we communicate with them the way they're most likely to communicate with us. So if her girlfriend doesn't typically message her on Facebook, she's not probably paying attention to that. So she may have to also be coached to reach out on the outside of that. So I want you to know the technique of the ask is as important as what we're then offering, right? Like, to make sure it's warm, it's sincere, and it's personalized, right? We don't info dump on them. I'm having a thing. I want to fill the thing. Come to the thing. That's what it, like, we've been invited like that, right? Even in the group. I have a group, join my group. Why do I want to join your group? I get too many things already. So, but my beauty consultant helped me get my complexion together, and she's going to share some of those same tips with all of us on Saturday morning. May I invite you to the group? Perfect, right? And then, then we start about, with our group dynamic. Let's have a little bit of thought real quick too on group. I guess manners would be good. A little housekeeping, just so that you remember that when something is commented on, whether it's like in our Dragonfly group, in your personal group, in your party groups, whatever's commented on will often be moved back to the top of the feed, right? Because people have most recent usually set, or all posts. So if most recent is set and someone comments on your welcome post from 5 days ago in your group, your welcome post is now at the top of the feed again. So it is important, even though there's tools to monitor all those groups and load them and have things pre-scheduled and all that, to go back actively and monitor them from time to time, and to remember your manners in a group too. If you're looking at information and you find something that's got a flaw in it or it's out of date, especially because we can be in each other's groups to help create that algorithm and generate that, it's rather than comment on it and then have that mistake pushed to the top of the feed, or that outdated information pushed to the top of the feed, it's a great way to, that's a good time to send a private message to the admins of the group. Hey, I just noticed that, your hydrogel eye patches are spelled wrong, or the price has been updated and your post has a, picture, whatever it is, we catch things, right? So, even if you're just a guest in someone else's group, nobody wants to be kind of called to the front of the room to have a correction, and nobody else wants you to, read the weather report from winter when we're in spring, so it's kind of the same thing. So if you find something, just remember that's a great private message versus a public comment. When we're in each other's groups, it's a beautiful thing we can do for each other, is help boost the algorithms and all that. A real sincere compliment or comment that's got 4 or 5 words in it helps. The heart emoji helps. And then also when we're sharing each other's content, I love that we look like such geniuses because our friends have pictures we've never seen, and they have posts we didn't know about, and they have tips about products that we learned from. Seriously, I watched Lori Hogue last week use super dark brows. She ombre'd the brows, and I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna try a dark brow color. Yeah, I'm loving it, right? But I could not copy and paste Lori Hogue's actual verbatim language with her actual photo into my group without downgrading her algorithm because it starts to look spammy when it gets out there over and over again the same. Not only does it not boost in your algorithm, it downgrades the other algorithm. So a same thing as courtesy, right? Like if you took, y'all know I'm like a sucker for the chicken wing dip, right? I have a chicken wing dip analogy for every aspect of this business. So if you were going to take the chicken wing dip to the party with some of the same exact people who you first experienced it at, right? Like as a courtesy, you wouldn't use the same exact casserole dish and garnish in the same exact way. You wouldn't go out and buy the same exact serving spoon, right? Like you would be an imitator, but not an exact copycat, right? Like, so it's the same kind of thing, right? Like you want to be, imitation is the most sincere form of flattery, but claiming it like it's your own and really just flat out plagiarizing, right? Like is kind of, we want to avoid that a little bit. And you'll find sometimes when I share things, I will credit the original source if I know it is the original source. Like my girlfriend Cindy just posted something today I'm going to share. I don't know that she was the originator of it. So like, I don't need to credit her on that, but as a courtesy to every other person that's like moved it along the path that it made it to our field of vision, we need to change it a little. So remember that for your groups. I'm sharing that with you because I hope this is exciting enough to you that you get your Mary Kay group off the ground. You do a virtual group of some kind for seasonal launches, and maybe you do a few other fun things. Like you can have more than one beauty group. Like you can invite people to an event in your personal group, but you can also have a group just for a party if you want to be your own hostess. Like you can do all different things. But remember, as you're pulling that content from other places, it's also in hidden groups on Facebook that you are not in. So we want to make sure that we're just making those minor adjustments from time to time. So it boosts your own connection and also helps our connection as well. So I hope this helps you feel a little more confident about the invitation. We talked last week about a couple weeks ago about two different choices, Tuesday or Friday. So if the invitation was a little different, where you wanted to invite her to take care of her skin, two choices. Would you prefer to get together one-on-one or in a group? I like to ask the location first. Would you prefer to get together in my home or yours? My home or somewhere neutral? My home or somewhere in the middle? Virtually or in person, right? And then, okay, what would you most like to focus on? Great. Tuesday or Friday, right? So like as you start to move through, if you info dump at any point is when things start to get shut down. So regardless if you're starting with an invitation to an event, maybe you're like one of our sister girl, Mary Kay girlfriends invites people to every event we have locally here in the studio. She starts with a birthday list. So anyone who's got a birthday for the month, everybody's booked basically on celebrating their birthday. And she asks like, hey, has anyone invited you to put your best face forward in the next year yet? Has anyone talked to you about like getting your birthday suit in shape, and so that's like, we're having a birthday celebration, may I invite you, right? So that's her approach. And then if she says yes and Saturday's not good, may I share another date with you that might work, right? We're just all along getting for that permission, and then two different choices. So hopefully that empowers you to not give up at the first, second, and third no, because sometimes it's just we haven't gotten to the actual alignment. It's like solving the Rubik's Cube, right? We got to keep turning and turning and turning until we get the side all one color. But sometimes when we do that, the other side moves. So you have to remember you're going to flex. Like she may really want to celebrate with a friend or bring a girlfriend to the next event. So do you have that second option available? Are you willing to go out to her house? So I want you to be thinking always, you have your ask, but how can you keep the offer consistently offering to her? Okay, so I hope this helps. I'm going to say goodbye for now. There'll be more soon.